Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing? I've missed you all. It's been a while since I posted on this platform. Life has been happening, my research has been turning on its own. So how are you guys doing? Let me know in the comment section. And I noticed you have new subscribers. Thank you so much guys for subscribing, and to the old subscribers, thank you for always being here. So for the new people, let me introduce myself quickly. I'm Akunna. I'm a Nigerian living and studying in Japan. So let's get into it. Hey guys, so it's been 5 years in Japan. I mean, I can't even believe it. I moved here October 2018 and this is 5 years later. So I decided to share these life lessons I've learned living in Japan and living abroad in general. But before I start, if you've not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please hit the subscribe button and kindly like this video because I know it will be valuable to you. So let's get into it. The first life lesson I've learned is something I've always known, is that everyone's story is different. Everyone's journey is different. Whether you're in your home country or you're abroad or anything. It doesn't matter if you came at the same time with the person. It doesn't matter if you're doing the same program or working in the same company with the person. Everyone's journey is different. You know, I always I always laugh when I remember this. Whenever I have conversations, I think I've mentioned this on my channel. In a video I did with Chioma, Chilo Talks. We always have these conversations. When some things happen, we're like, how did this happen to you? Are you still in this Japan with me? I mean, we are literally in the same city. We are doing the same program, but our experiences have been slightly different. Slightly, it depends on who you're talking to, but yeah. Things I have experienced are quite strange to her. Some things she's experienced are quite strange to me as well. So we always laugh when we share our experiences and we're like, I can't even believe this is happening in Japan. So it's very important not to look at other person's journey. Focus on yours, you know, set your eyes on the goal and hopefully everything will work out as you plan. But also at the back of your mind, always know that life can happen, you know, things can change. And this also takes me to the second point, which is setting achievable and realistic goals. So this is very important, guys. I think many people are guilty of this. They set these goals that are particularly unrealistic, in quotes. I mean, it's very okay to dream. It's very okay to have big dreams. It's very okay to aim for things that are not within your reach at that moment. I mean, that's what makes us human beings. The ability to imagine and have, you know, a view of what our life should be like. Like me, I had plans for what what my 5 years in Japan should be like, what I should have achieved by now. Yeah, let's just say I'm alive and I'm okay. But I think it's humanly natural to be pressured to set some goals and then feel frustrated when these goals don't pan out as you had wished. So it's very important that we are careful with setting goals. I mean, there's a lot of pressure that comes with moving abroad, mostly pressure that you put on yourself, not even pressure that people put on you, but the pressure of I want to be this, I want to be that in a certain period of time, and the idea that everything is rosy, which is not usually the case. Everything is not usually as rosy as it seems abroad. So people are often frustrated and feeling, you know, dissatisfied with themselves when things are not working as they plan. So I think it's very important to set these goals and make sure that they are flexible. If it's something you can tune or something that doesn't happen this year, bear in mind that can happen next year, can happen in 2 years. All you have to do is just, you know, continue striving, you know, being steadfast and praying that God will make everything work out for you. And then the third life lesson I want to talk about is investing in one's health. You know, this is even beyond my own personal experience. I've spoken to quite a number of persons who tell me things like, since I moved abroad, I've been having this health issue or another, you know, something that I didn't even know I had, just something didn't manifest it. It could be the weather that triggered it could be any other thing. Just something just happens and you're like, why is my health deteriorating, and all these kind of things. So I think it's very important to invest in your health. Do not, I think this would also be interconnected with my next point, do not overstress yourself too much. Be kind to your body. If you do not rest, your body will choose a day for you to rest and you may not like it. You know, be kind to yourself. Do not overwork yourself to the point that you cannot even take breaks. That's not good. That's not good at all. I will still emphasize on it in the next point. And also, if you're in a country where you have access to healthcare, do not play with health checkups. I do not even play with this one. Once I feel a headache and I feel like, yeah, this is not usual, I go to the hospital. And even when I don't have a headache, maybe twice in a year, 3 times in a year if you can, go to the hospital for multiple checkups. So these regular checkups helps you to nip some things in the bud before they manifest fully. So it's very important to invest in your health. And I think one other thing that causes this abroad is sometimes unknowingly we become lazy. You know, back in Nigeria, I can walk. I can walk long distances. I mean, before I had a car, I could walk as long as possible. But moving abroad where you have this good transportation system, everything is almost at your beck and call. You get into the train, it's on time, it's fast, you get into the bus. Like everywhere is easily accessible. Let me put it that way. Everywhere is easily reachable. And then you forget to walk, you forget to take these little exercises that could have been what kept you fit back home. Like I am actually guilty of this. It's just, lately I've been more conscious of exercise, trying to walk much more than using the trains and the buses. But this is usually where the problem starts, when you start being unfit unknowingly. And then in some cases the cause of your illness could be nutrition deficiency, like you're lacking some nutrients. Like, so for people like me who are probably picky eaters, well, I'm repenting. If you're a picky eater and maybe you're focused on eating food you're familiar with from home, probably you ordered food from African stores, or send things over from your home country, most of these things are dried. By the time you cook them, you're basically eating chaff. You've lost a whole lot of nutrients in it, so you end up eating something that is not very nutritious for your body, and in most cases you're probably eating the same thing over and over again. So I would usually advise people, and this is an advice to myself, try to explore the food in the country you've moved to. Try to see what they eat, incorporate a little bit of it into your food. I mean, you may not really eat 100% of what they have, but as much as you can, try to incorporate them into your food. I'm beginning to learn that, trying my best to also eat out sometimes and eat other things that are not particularly Nigerian dishes and all those kind of things. So it's very important. So this brings me to my next point, the fourth one, which is do not overwork yourself. This is what many immigrants are guilty of, and this is usually not because they really want to, but because they have a lot of responsibilities, or they have this notion that you need to make all the money in the world. Whatever suits you, fine, but do not overwork yourself. It's important to remember that this money you're chasing, you should be alive to enjoy it. I mean, you don't have to overwork yourself to the point where you barely have a day of rest. So I know that some jobs are quite demanding, like if you're in the healthcare sector, some people work more than 12 hours. I know that they also have alternate shifts, so you can work 3 times a week and then take a break and all that. But people who work like this every single day because they want to make the money, they're doing more than one job, they're doing 2-3 jobs, which is okay if you have like very serious financial issues and you need to meet up. That's fine. But making it a habit over time, your body will tell you, as Nigerians will say, your body will tell you, it will tell on you in the long run. This money you're making, make sure that you're healthy and alive to spend it later. Else, what is the point? So be kind on yourself. Know that this body that you're overworking is also the one that will be there with you until the end of time. So it's very important that we keep this in mind. Please do not overwork yourself. If you have financial issues and you want to tackle them right now and then that's fine, for some time. Not working like 6 whole months, 14 hours, 16 hours, no breaks. Some people maybe only Sundays, which is not bad, but imagine if you're doing this over a long period of time, your body will definitely deteriorate. So it's very important to note that. Then the next thing I want to talk about is making friends, which is my 5th point. You cannot do life alone normally. Then how much more when you move to an entirely different country, far away from home. Like in my case, living in a country that shares literally no similarity with Nigeria. You're trying to survive. You just need friends. In most cases, you might be opportune to meet people from your home country or people who have similar values with you. Please try to connect with them. You don't need to make so much friends. Just have a closely knitted group, a few friends, 3 or 4, just to help you navigate this life. Hey, things can get tough. When it happens, you'll be like, who sent me? So things do get tough. I mean, everywhere in the world. But I feel like sometimes it gets tougher when you're far away from home and, have limited access to people you love. So it's very important to make friends. Have people that, you share your pain with. People who encourage you. People who inspire you. Have them in that small circle, to keep life going. It's very important. I'm actually thankful that when I came to Japan, I can't say that everybody I've met so far are my friends, but I was grateful that we have, this African family, the Nigerian family, and also people from church. It's very important to help you settle in and all that. Still connected to making friends. My next point would be making connections. This is very important. So you need to create a very good network for yourself. I had this in mind when I moved to Japan, but I cannot say I have been very serious about it until about maybe last year or late 2021. I've been very, very conscious of, having a good network, creating good connections, meeting with people who would add value to you. And also, it is also important that when you're looking to make these connections, you should also be someone who will also bring value to the person. I mean, you cannot give what you don't have. In most cases, when you're trying to make these connections, you need to sell something. You need to bring value to something. You need to bring something to the table. So it's important that you have value in yourself so you can make these connections. I mean, there are sometimes I'm stuck in something and I'm like, okay, how can I get to this? How do I do this? And I remember, yeah, there's this person I met somewhere, and this person this, that. They may have an idea that will link me to someone who knows, or they'll just have something to say about this. Then I call them and then things work out fine. So it's very important that you create these good connections. Very, very important. The next one, which is the seventh one, is there are times where family and friends will not be there for you. This is not what people would want to hear, but it has to be said. This is not even to shade anybody or shade family or shade friends. It's just life. It would happen even if you are back home. And it can also happen when you're abroad. That's just how it is. And this is not because they don't want to be there for you. I mean, everyone has their own issues. Everyone has what they're dealing with. That's just life. You can't take it away from life. Everyone has what they're dealing with at some point. When I was growing up, my mom would always say, that literally means everyone is carrying their problems like a backpack. So that means everyone has issues to deal with. So when you need something, the person who you're reaching out to may not be able to help you because they have a lot they're dealing with. They might even have something worse than what you're dealing with. And this can also happen in the reverse. People can also reach out to you and you're unable to help them. And that's how life is. There are times you can reach out to me. It could be maybe what I could have done maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago. But at that moment, I am not able to do that because I have things I'm also dealing with. It could be anything. It must not even be finances. It could even be for advice. But just know that people may not always be there for you. That's just how life works. It's not about you or about them. So the 8th point I want to talk about is asking questions. This is very important, guys. Especially if you move to a country like Japan where the language can be a barrier. So you can receive, lots of documents, or you may not know a lot of things. You have to ask questions, confirm from people. I think early this year, I received like lots of documents that required me to pay money. It was tax this, municipal tax, this tax. Oh my God. I'm like, what's going on? What are all these taxes for? So you have to reach out to people and confirm. I had to call those. Okay, firstly, what I usually do is I'll call those who I came to Japan with at the same time. So I'll reach out to probably Chioma and some other persons. Did you guys receive this thing? But because we are usually in the same boat, we are usually clueless about what's this for. Then I'll reach out to those who have been here longer and ask them, how do I go about this? What do I do with this? How does this work? And then asking questions also helps you save in some cases. Imagine, spending so much, buying things at an expensive store, and then you find out that the store very close to you sells things for a cheaper price. Don't mind me, guys. But yeah, asking questions, I'm just trying to be very dramatic here. Asking questions is very important to surviving everywhere in the world, but especially a very new country. So this is very important. 9th point I want to talk about. This is actually very important. It should have been on top of the list. Do not accept less than you are worth. But I know people will be like, what are you talking about? This is very important, guys. When you move to a new country, it's okay. No problem with that. To, struggle, trying to find your food. You could settle for anything. It's very understandable. But what I mean is, do not be too relaxed in that place. Like 6 months down the line, you've gotten to know about the system, this, that. Okay, let's just take for example. Let's say you're a nurse. You're a qualified nurse. You've probably worked for some time in your home country and then you move abroad. And the first 6 months, you didn't get a job offer before moving. The first 6 months, you're trying to survive. You're doing, anything just to keep yourself busy and pay your bills. And then 6 months down the line, 1 year down the line, you're still doing, just things to pay yourself busy. While you know that if you probably brush up your skills, if you feel too comfortable in that thing you're doing, that you don't even want to put your nursing skills to good use. In the long run, you may not like it. It might lead to regrets. So I usually advise people, do not accept less than you are worth, except in severe situations where you cannot help it. Then that's fine. And then the next point I want to talk about is doing the right thing at the right time. This is a very important life lesson I've learned. Doing the right thing at the right time is very important, guys. Procrastinating, pushing this thing backwards do not help. Imagine this thing happened to me. Hey God, happened to me in 2019. There was something I really wanted to do. I yearned to do this thing, and I'm like, I was going to do it in 2019. 2019 came to an end in December. I said, unfailingly, in 2020, I must do it. And then COVID came. And I couldn't even apply for the thing because, of course, it wasn't working out due to COVID. Everything was shut down. And in 2021, the COVID was still, a very serious thing back then. And then last year, by the time I was not ready to apply, I had passed the age limit to apply. Oh my God. But I was so certain that 2020 was going to be my year. So imagine how these things work. Nobody knew that the pandemic was going to come and take 2 years away from me. I mean, I'm not even that old, but yeah, it took 2 years. 2 years away from me, and then this is where I am now. I still feel some sort of regret because I didn't do that. But this is not even just about applications and all those things. It's about doing things like, if you want to school, let's say for instance, you moved abroad with the idea of upping your skills, getting a master's degree, getting a PhD, or maybe switching to another course entirely. I've seen people who probably study something different back home and then they move abroad, they feel like what they studied is not the end thing. I mean, it doesn't, maybe you just studied that for studying sake and you want to do what is really your passion or what you feel would pay you financially. And then they say, okay, yeah, once I get abroad, 6 months in, I'll do this. And then they move abroad maybe at 26 or 27. And then they say, okay, 6 months later, 6 months goes by, 1 year goes by, and let's say something happens, probably they get married, and they're like, yeah, I will do this once I'm done with this first baby. Once I put to bed, I'll do this. And before you know it, second baby comes, and this is what happens. And then they see themselves maybe 6 years down the line, they haven't even gone to the school again, and they're still fighting. And then at the end of the day, they feel regrets because responsibilities will come, and time waits for nobody. So it's very difficult to juggle many things at the same time. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm going to be as realistic as possible. But doing the right thing at the right, especially for things like study, that you need your very young and active brain cells. I mean, people can study even when they are 60, when they are 65, when they are 80. I mean, I've seen those inspiring stories and they are very good. But if you can do it at the right time, it pays a lot. So guys, this has turned to motivational talk. I don't even know it was going to be this long. So guys, these are the life lessons I've learned. I mean, there are more out there that I cannot remember at the moment, but if any of these life lessons resonates with you, please leave a comment in the comment section. And if you have other life lessons you would like to share, especially about life abroad and all that, or just in life generally, please don't forget to leave them in the comment section. And also, if there are any videos you would like me to make or any questions you have, also leave them in the comment section. I'll do my best to make those videos and also answer your questions. And to those who have not subscribed and come this far, I don't know what you want me to do for you again. Please hit the subscribe button. We are almost at the 1,000 mark and I really hope to get there soon. So guys, please hit the subscribe button, share and like this video, and don't forget to leave a comment. Thank you guys. Until the next one, which won't be long. See you guys. Bye.